Wi-Fi source did not work very well.
Controlling this lane, as we
or
can
internet
see,
source,
keeping Yahoo busy.
Lucid's level 6 as well.
The
Sponge
Ethernet over electrical is not
on the
working.
bottom side of the map here for DRX, as if he actually tried to come over and smite that one away, it would have been the end of him. There's no way Teddy can help out in that situation. Now he's going to take the Raptors away, just being super frustrating while also threatening this Tristana at the same time. And this is the Lucid on Vi that he's famed for this pick. Ends up helping that bottom dive to great success, and now he is reaping the reward because, yes, it was a Kellen setup there, but he's the one who picks up 2 kills. And unfortunately for Sponge, not much he can do. Just knowing that experience advantage he has and just pushing it forward so much with the bottom side control.
That flash was so weird, but it worked so well! Okay, Kellen! Okay, Kellen!
He's
what?
Just giggling, man. He's having a bit of a giggle. He's like, I dodge those.
I can even the Korean casters are losing their minds. They're having a giggle as well. It's everyone. We're just all giggling together. As now Kellen might actually be in trouble, but he has a turret. He's going to be fine. And Amy's going to walk back. He's like, what happened? Kellen's like, I don't want to talk about it, but everything's fine.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's a mind game, sure, yeah.
It was so sick. This worked so well. All right, Showmaker is going to get explosively charged. As Kellen continues to soak skill shots. It is going to be
I want to see a replay of that.
Here in the brush as aiming spins around, red and white.
Red, white, level 6 for Kellen, too. You got to respect that.
Oh, yeah. Level 7 for Teddy, but Pleta really wants to get Solar Flare on that skill bar. And shouldn't be too far away from it.
This is so frustrating for Pleta because he really wants it. He's so close to it, but with Renata in the brush there, not a great spot. This is Kellen's first-person view.
Oh, okay.
I don't think I need to translate.
Yeah, no translation necessary for that one. That was a little bit of a whoopsie into Undergod. It's fine.
Yeah, I think just reactionary flash there out of him while his mouse cursor was.
That is hilarious.
Not in the closer to the turret position, but the flash still is the reaction time there is so quick that.
Let me see. It's on Twitch right now. Is there LCK YouTube?
Like
because I want to be able to.
Really nice handshake because otherwise he would have been dead.
Yep.
Oh, very cute. Anyway, I'm really glad that he was laughing as much as we were as that play was happening.
All right. There we go.
As you were talking about, those 2 kills going over to Lucid, of course, as now Kellen finds himself in a very uncomfortable spot, which
level 6 as well. Sponge
here could be a real worry as Kellen just walks towards Splitter. And they're going to trade blows and nothing too much is going to happen. Big wave stacking up here. As we can see, the Vi.
And there, but he's doing that flash. So weird. Experience advantage he has and just pushing it forward so much with the bottom side control.
That flash was so weird, but it worked.
And just pushing it forward so much with the bottom side control.
That flash was so weird, but it worked so well. Okay, Kellen. Okay, Kellen.
He's just giggling, man. He's having a bit of a
would have taken longer to get onto Liliana.
He's like, I dodge those.
I can even the Korean casters are losing their minds. They're having a giggle as well. It's everyone. We're just all giggling together. As now Kellen might actually be in trouble, but he has a turret. He's going to be fine. And Amy's going to walk back. He's like, what happened? Kellen's like, I don't want to talk about it, but everything's fine.
Yeah.
Kellen worked so.
And just pushing it forward so much with the bottom side control.
That flash was so weird, but it worked so well. Now, scot-free.
I mean, the game state at that moment on the bottom lane, and this is going to be the really big cost, because you talked about the Void Grubs, you always have to keep an eye on that with Tristana. Now they're not going to get the 5 or 6 that is really what you want as Tristana, so unfortunate here for DRX, but you know, the game state on the bottom side of the map was so favored to D+ that they were like, well, if Teddy's not going to show up, Lucid says, I'm going to kill somebody. And he went in and forced it, and unfortunately for him, you know, it didn't end up working out. It took a little bit too long, so the Tristana does pick up a kill out of it as well. And some plate gold going over to aiming as Rascal, because he TP'd bottom, just having to babysit this lane for a little bit. Tristana is dueling top side. We'll be able to back off here. He loses a little bit of farm. Teddy's getting some free plate gold over here meanwhile. But yeah, Definitely could have gone better there for D+, but at the end of the day, I think they're pretty happy with the scenario. They still have a lot of control as Showmaker comes in.
Yep, looking for Teddy now as well as he's on these rocks. Can Arcane shift out of them, but I don't think it's going to matter. He is going to go the other direction, tries to throw down as many abilities as possible, but Lucid says Vault Breaker. And Teddy is going to be lying on the floor. So DK now moving that lead further forward. Drake has just spawned as well.
Anywhere near
Got
what they
Chemtech
want.
into Ocean. It's going to be a Cloud Soul, isn't it?
It probably is.
Time to be alive. It's okay. Sponge is going to be spotted. Pletter is also spotted. Kingen still just going to continue jungling as the Nah. And that will be the top outer turret taken here, I believe. A little bit of a race here. And oftentimes you just say, yeah, Tristana's probably going to win.
Yeah,
especially with Rascal turning up bottom lane.
Yeah, especially with nobody showing up here.
Ooh, it's a Mountain Soul.
It is Mountain Soul, okay. As Yehu will just push this wave in. Fortunately, Leona shadowing this means it's very difficult to defend as D+. Kellen does come over. As Lucid is so big in this game. He's 1,000 gold ahead of his opposition, has 3 kills on this bye. As Rascal, I mean, we haven't talked about Jack side laning all too much. Hasn't been that relevant recently, but he is going to also be doing a lot of damage to turret. But with him being pushed away here now, that is the end of that. But DRX getting a lot of turret value in both top and bottom lanes here, picking up a lot of plate gold. Still behind overall in gold with D+'s great kills in the early game, but bringing it back.
Yep, and they've also got like some standing gold sitting on the map here as well. You can see that that next couple of plates are going to be very, very close. There's, of course, only 15 seconds until the plates do fall, so not likely to be able to get any extra plate money, but the setup for first turret blood is certainly there for DRX to get themselves back into this game and on gold parity at least.
And the lane assignment here ends up working out really well for DRX with the Jax into the Talia, and then the Tristana dealing with the Nara top side. Actually feels pretty good here for DRX at the moment. D+ going to have to try to remedy this, but see, it's Lucid going top side. He's going to say no more Tristana.
Ooh, Teddy. In a little bit of trouble, but Rift Herald is going to be on the minds of D+. Showmaker moving up there, does have Weaver's Wall at the ready, so he can be there at a moment's notice. Sponge and Yahoo just going to be taking down this blue buff. And I think that Shelly should just go over to D+ here without too much of a response from DRX outside of Rascal going for a shove in that bottom lane. Teleport's available for Showmaker. I don't know whether they really want to use it here to take to protect this turret that is...
It's done,
right.
so.
Yeah,
So
it's really basically just standing there already
too
dead.
easy.
So
we're
it
gonna
is
go
going to be
hop over
removed.
the
And
LPL,
DRX...
because I think that this is just going to end up being a dumb one.
That's the
win
threes
pretty
on the
quick.
docket and a whole lot of chaos here in the LPL Summer Split. So game 1 of RA versus Ultra Prime kicking off now. I was wondering if we're going to see any level 1s here as well, because they do have a pretty spicy level 1. Usually you don't want to go into a Braum level 1, but honestly it looks like
Yeah,
they might
let's
like
go
their
look
chances.
at how the odds
Had
are
that lady
looking
carry
right
as
this
well. You go volley
second on this
from Ashe. So that's a dangerous combo if you decide to invade.
It
However,
really is, right? Like,
usually with Braum, you can choose to late invade as well. And this is what throws a lot of people off. And it might be the case right here because Niket starts moving forward. However, Hacker is going to choose to stick more towards the tops of the map. And Yokai is going to pull out the brush as well. So I don't think we're going to see any level 1 shenanigans for now.
it's like
I said for now.
Hacker, yeah, it
I
looks like
said for now.
they will get spotted out by this ward nicely placed down by RA. They will get the start on the top
Alright.
side. So Ultra Prime actually going to put a lot of pressure out on the map early. A leash coming through to quickly clear this side for Xiaohao as well.
I love that from the side of Ultra Prime. We mentioned how Xiaohao is the key to shutting down Qingtian in the early game. Vikla, what are you doing? You've seen the Lilia.
Oh no. They knew he was there and everything. The level 2 is there, but Yukai not able to
Brutal.
poke down the damage. Vikla very low on health now.
Interesting.
Oh, this is great stuff from Ultra Prime, and Vikla oversteps his welcome. You have vision on Lilia being above. However, I feel like what they expected is for Hacker to take the entire quadrant. So Vikla expected Hacker to be busy clearing camps.
Interesting.
Wasn't the case, and now he's given Yokai a huge advantage
Yeah, he did.
by walking past mid lane and getting Yokai so much pressure on that mid side of the map.
I do. Okay, so Xiaohao will be spotted out on the way up towards this top side of the map, so maybe a little bit of vision play being able to be used here by Ultra Prime. I do expect, though, at least Hacker to try to take advantage of the clear speed of Lilia once
That's
she gets
funny.
up to
Somebody
stuff here,
messaged somebody in
and try to
game.
take advantage
You heard the
at
chat
least of
sound.
that side of the map on top side. A little bit of pressure as well since he has the Darius. But I do want to ask you where you think a lot of these resources are going to be tried to delivered now that we have priority kind of gained by Ultra Prime in all lanes early.
I think this is great stuff for them in general in terms of setting up that early game success. I feel like their bot lane has pressure. Their mid lane was given a lot of that early game pressure, which we expected Corki to have in the first 3 levels, as we mentioned. But again, Hacker pulling his Hacker moves in the jungle, taking 1 camp straight into a gank was kind of huge. And now it's the counter gank from Xiaohao. He's looking for Yukai.
Oh, we got the knock up
Should
there.
be fine.
Yeah, Xiaohao just going to show his bristles, if you will. But I will end up going back towards that top side. Junglers are going to hit each other here. It's like Xiaohao is going to be on the worst end of the trade there.
Damn.
Hacker getting the full advantage of it and wants to chase
Oh
it.
my
The
God,
speed
Hacker can
from
kill
this
him.
World Seed slowdown is going to be the difference maker here, and Hacker is just running you down. You can't come into Bambi's jungle as Xiaohao will
Goddamn.
be taken down first blood for Ultra Prime.
Ultra Prime live or die by the mid jungle duo sword, and Hacker is stepping the heck up for them. We mentioned how important this game is for them. You're playing in group Nirvana. You only get to play everyone once, and every single win or loss counts. Currently, Ultra Prime being 0-1 up, they really need that W versus RA, and Hacker
Darius, bro.
is one of the big moving gears of that early game for Ultra Prime. He's doing fantastically. The clever level 1 into that mid lane, into heading back up on towards the
I
top
like
side,
this.
into killing Xiaohao. He's
Look at
looking.
this. This is really
Yeah,
big.
there's
This
no
is
TP
really,
from
they have no
Corki.
idea. They went so long for this play. They're going to try to get it. They need something here to get it back. They have the CC chain there, but the Unbreakable is just too hard to get through.
Yeah, it
and
is.
Ultra
Unbreakable
Prime,
is
they will
really
dissuade
hard
the
to get
bot
through.
lane gank.
Very nicely done by Doggo and Niket. They're using the Unbreakable and the proc on the passive from Brom to stop any further advancement onto them. And Xiaohao, I gotta
She
give him
couldn't
credit, man.
remember
He's been looking.
name of
He's
that.
been looking mid. He's been looking bot. He's been looking to take the Skull Crab towards the tops of the map, but nothing is currently working for the side of RA. However, I'm gonna put an asterisk right here because seeing the last series from RA, they are fantastic team fighters. They know how
Yeah.
to dip in and out of a fight so well that to me that screams great communication and great shot calling coming by them. And they do have a
Alright.
lot of scaling pieces.
It's interesting to see the
in their
Yone
composition to make this
Kai'Sa
work.
without having
The only
like
thing
a
that worries
stronger
me
AP jungler.
is that those
than
pieces, only 2 of them do damage. So if
Says
Ultra Prime
Ronnie.
manages to dispatch of 1 of the 2, then it's going to be really tough for RA to win one of those fights.
Honestly,
And going
looking
back
at the
to that
comps,
conversation
I
of
think the
scaling,
only
you said
win
from the driver,
condition
they have a very
RA
succinct
has
composition.
is
They know what they want to do. They want to dive the back line. They want to get access
like a
there. And I think
flawless
as time
Yone
goes on,
ult.
it will be
And
available
even
to
still,
them,
they've got
and I think
Darius for
big
that.
engages from Xiaohao, from Jue will be really, really important. But I think Vikla and Assume are going to have really good timings on how they find their
I think it's an
entrances
Ultra
into the
Prime win.
fight. Meanwhile, on
do.
the other side, Ultra Prime are looking to have advantages before they go into these fights a lot of the times, I feel like. But they will have a lot of setup themselves, especially led by Doggo's arrows, which, you know, Xiaohao wants to punish down here as soon as possible. We'll try to get Doggo now that he does not have any summoner spells. There's the
Okay.
Shattering Strikes, but not going to be able to follow it up again. And another gank goes a little bit wide.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Squirrel Seed hits the wall there. That actually would have been huge because he does have Lilting Lullaby, and we do have level 6s available, so a little bit more proactivity on the map.
Vikla, no HP underneath his tower. Hacker level 6. Xiaohao is going to get pushed out of his blue buff right here. Again, that mid lane jungle dominance coming through from Ultra Prime. Xiaohao is still level 5. Doesn't have his ultimate. He cannot contest. His mid laner cannot help. He's 1 HP under the tower. This is looking pretty good for Ultra Prime in that early game. I feel like they have all the tools they need. Even though RA have all the engage, Ultra Prime will love that. Engage into a Lilia. Get 4-man queued in the face. Darius, he cannot reach champions. The fact that you're giving them for free to be played around Darius, I think is a dream come true. And then you have Ashe and Braum that can control so much area around in team fight, and the great peelers, both of them. I feel like Ultra Prime's composition right here is made for success. Xiaohao gank number 3,462, go.
Not going to be pulled off
Nope.
here, as the 100% objective control does continue to go over to Ultra Prime so far. Really, really big stuff. But this is honestly about what I would expect from Hacker. Hacker's really good at finding early game leads. He's very direct in the early game, but it always comes to closing out the games and kind of syncing with the team that becomes the question mark. Because this guy has been with Ultra Prime for a while. You might think back to last year when he was with FPX. That was a stint, right? Before that, he was almost 2 years with Ultra Prime, and before that with E-Star, before they switched over to the Ultra Prime branding. So he's back home. This 2024 split hasn't necessarily been the brightest and boldest from him, especially in spring, but here in summer, I feel like we've seen that back to old ways early game Hacker.
Ooh, they haven't backed. They haven't backed.
Oh my God, Tway against his old team might just go down here and give over a second kill. And the Enchanted Crystal Arrow to follow up. They're going to try to use the Winter's Bite to follow the concussive blow, but can't do it. Doggo able to secure a kill in bot side for Ultra Prime.
My God, Ultra Prime are dominant all across the board. Every single box that had to be ticked for Ultra Prime has been. Darius not getting shut down in the early game, tick.
Corky.
Lilia, mid-jungle duo getting ahead in the early game for Ultra Prime, tick. You know what? The cherry on top is that your bot lane just wins in a random 2v2 where Dre overextends to face check and Doggo and get have no back. Great stuff so far from Ultra Prime, and they've earned themselves a 3,000 gold lead 9 minutes into the game.
3,000 gold lead, sure, but it's only like
pretty
300
safe to say the early game has gone real well for them. And all of that has been led off of Hacker's early fighting onto Xiaohao and now his massive CS lead. Xiaohao has not been one
with the odds at plus 340, guys. If you, I do not ever recommend anybody bet. I do not recommend bets in general. However, that is a bet that I am thinking about taking, just because not a full unit or anything like that, but like a quarter unit
here in the end. But it will be a push up by RA with Dway and Xiaohao on the roam.
They have already rotated from the side of RA, Assume and Sway towards the top side of the map. You see Void Grubs are coming up. Ultra Prime will most likely want to fight for them, but they don't have to. They already have the 3. You cannot get the buff anymore for the side of RA. So they see the rotation. They can choose and opt to play away from that rotation if they want to. As you see, they pull the Darius down. He's clearing up the top quadrant of Hacker's jungle, making sure that he stays safe towards the top side, especially since he's getting outnumbered at the moment.
And really quick, if you want to take a look, that Leandri's was completed about 9:40 or so as Hacker had gotten the back off. So he is back on the map with extreme power right now. First fully completed item. RA want to try to get Qingtian as he comes down, but Ultra Prime going to use some of this push in mid maybe. They will be looking to take a tussle over this one.
Very nice trade right there from Vikla as well. Yokai does not have a lot of mana to play out this fight. However, the fight might already start.
TP coming in, all they wanted. Glacial Prison going to go through. Hacker trying to get in there now, but he's in trouble. Nice engage from Dway. The Fate Seal going to miss a little bit over the top. And now you got some decent damage, but the Lilting Lullaby is not going to make too much of a difference. Xiaoshu is carving him up in the back line here,
well
too.
Played by Xiaoshu.
Now has found his ticket.
Yeah.
And
Oh
like a
my
God.
God.
From hell. A triple kill for Qingtian.
The second RA.
That was disgusting by Darius. Fuck, dude.
Is there with the Darius.
/FF. This is a /FF out the hell.
For Ultra Prime.
Never mind on that sneaky quarter unit bet. Fuck.
For this one, and I was getting worried because Yokai is low on mana. He cannot put a lot of he cannot use a lot of spells in this fight. However, Doggo has been safe this entire time. Great wombo combo by RA, but look at the man sprinting in the backline. Xiaoshu thinks everyone is super low and that his team is gonna follow up, but his team is too busy trying to deal with a massive Darius.
You cannot give a champion this man was singularly known for back in the day to give it over to him, man. I'm just saying. I think the draft prep, the fact that he blinded.
Yeah, I can see why he's known for it, because what the fuck was that?
Impressive. Love to see that from Qingtian. Now he will have Trinity Force completed. First item on the Darius.
We do have 2 items already completed on the side of Ultra Prime. We're looking for Corki to finish his item as well. They're looking at Sashu. That's
really
a pretty tanky. That's a pretty tanky Cassante. There is not a lot of HP onto this tower, and you guys taking a little bit of a beating.
Shashu just wanted to get some poke in as much as possible, but that turret will end up falling here. So not only do they get almost full objective control, they will also get that first turret too, and another.
But at that point in the
I mean, hey, we wanted to see
in
an
the game, I actually
this
still don't think it was
miles different from their last
terrible idea.
That is a fantastic early game. This is an early game where pretty much everything has gone well. Oh, they spotted Chinky, and he doesn't have any summoners. They could be looking to snipe him. However, the Wood is going to spot them all out. They were literally just doing the last void grab, and they're like, nope, we want the shot on 300 gold. Could be something that they needed in their pockets to get back into this game, especially if that goes in the pockets of Vikla, who could become a very big
literally
pressure point
that's the
for RA.
we win.
They need everything they can get right now, and if that is Vikla on a side lane with a 300 gold bonus from killing
got
Darius,
his gold now because he got all those freaking assists. Plus,
try to take those.
You can, okay, rephrase. You can try to take those.
I'm saying there's a chance. We did get another kind of item completion.
Yukai moves around like he's a fly on a desk
as well for RA here sooner rather than later.
Like not IRL in game.
RA
like
put
you know,
a ton of
kind of
resources up towards this top side. They have consistently been just running around each other up here, and they want to try to stop the bleeding of these objectives.
However, if you look at the item disparity right now, Ultra Prime finished Kraken Slayer onto Ashe as well. Every single member, even almost a support, is about 1,000+ gold. Oh, they're gonna find Vikla here. Might have to ult.
He didn't get the Winter's Bite there, but he does get the Fate sealed out, so that'll be a big cooldown down, and the Ignite by Niket, as Vikla will be chased into his jungle there.
Yeah,
and I don't feel like RA have the resources to
anybody.
fight that anymore. Also, if you look over to their summoners, assume very short. Oh,
gets the nice little combo from the bush. Love to see that. Twin Convergence doing some work there.
It's getting pretty desperate from RA. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh, the TP coming from Shashu.
Speaking of desperation, but look, the rest of Ultra Prime are up here. They need to be a little careful though. Shashu was looking for the deep flank. He's going for the all out, but he can't get the combo before he gets past the unbreakable. And now they're all just asleep at the wheel. And RA have been completely dusted in every attempt in this early game.
Oh boy, that was so messy. The TP comes in. Vikla goes on to Yukai thinking that Shashu's going to assist
If Up finds a way to lose this
Shashu
game,
pulls a beeline towards the
then and only then will I say I am never again betting at mid-elo Chinese games.
They end up losing Shashu's life as well. They rotate everyone towards the top of the map just to see both the top lane tier 1 and the Herald go into the hands of Ultra Prime. Everything is going Ultra Prime's way. And let's have a look at this again, because I'm like, oh yeah, Vikla is getting some backup right here. But everyone starts pinging the tribe. So look at Shashu. He's just ignoring his mid laner.
Yeah, I think he sees the all-out angle to try to get them back over to the rest of the team, but he isn't able to get there in time. And I think that's the pull from Hacker to go back towards the rest of the team was actually a really good call. And honestly, Hacker is having an incredible game this start to this best of 3.
Yeah, he is.
1, 1, and 6, almost 100% kill participation right there for Hacker. And again, we said that this man received so much criticism over in spring in terms of his performance, and I feel like the meta might have not suited him as much. Now you also have
Hacker
is Hacker a lot in terms of the
Hacker and me play well in the same metas in jungle.
A lot of that hard baggage that Hacker had on his back through the entirety of spring has been somehow lifted by Niket, and he can pull out a lot more of these carries that are so prominent in the meta, and he actually looks really, really good on them.
Yeah, and you have to remember, Ultra Prime are coming off a spring split where they finished last. It was not a great split, and I think it was a very big surprise to see how strong they looked coming into this summer split. The addition of Niket having huge impact, but more so that combination of Hacker and Yukai finding a lot of those big win moments. Now, they are looking to continue this siege. They have 8,000 gold lead at 17 minutes. They are looking at this tier 2, but might not want to overextend for it here, Trouble.
I'm going to give it straight. I feel like RA should be thinking about going back to the drawing board on what went wrong. We entered this particular series and we talked a little bit about the meta and how a lot of teams will play with minimum of 3 carries.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And
Like
a maximum of 5.
the entire quirky Yone of it all. I mean, it's definitely a RA loss at this point.
The really good teams like BLG, top esports will play with 4 carries, and then the rest of the teams will play with 3 or 4. Right here, Ultra Prime have brought 4. Into the Rift, and they're doing really well. They've got pressure from the get-go on every single lane.
You gotta turn the AC
Great
up
just
a little bit.
Gotten a lot
I'll be
of
right
pressure
back.
in that mid lane as well. However, RA, they have fallen behind, sure, and they've got scaling on Kai'Sa and Yone. That is undoubtable. However, you only have 2 carries in your team. You are not outputting enough damage to be able to bring Ultra Prime down, especially when you're in a goal deficit.
Yeah, I think the little moment of hope is like the execution really enables RA's competition if they can get to 3 items. But goodness, that tunnel looks so far down the way. I mean, you can barely even see the little glint of light at the end of it.
I'll give you a piece of your medicine. They can try to get to 3 items.
Exactly, there you go. Oh, they're actually going to try to get Vic. Oh my God, look away. Look away. The man's bleeding all over the place right now. 4-0 for Qingtian as 2 Tier 2 towers will fall in favor of Ultra Prime.
Don't look at items. Don't look at gold diff. Just don't look.
We'll tell you when to come back for the next game. What a way to go. What a way to start this one off. Again, a big question mark of what we were going to get coming into this one. Ultra Prime taking a hard loss in their last series. And Vikla taking a hard loss right here.
He thinks he can snap back into his soul. He snapped back straight into that gray screen. And again right here, RA, we saw them trying the entire time. Xiaohao, sorry, was trying to find gank angles. But again, I feel like this is most likely going to be an Ultra Prime victory. An Ultra Prime victory that they very much needed. A very clean, dominant early game into a very controlled mid game. Every single objective controlled and taken by Ultra Prime. Every single lane has done their job. I feel like this is
that should just be 100% insurmountable.
Exactly. It's going to happen. Oh, they got the double pull in from Qingtian. Qingtian is the target right now. They want the shutdown, but look at the lilting lullaby and all the CC chains coming in. Oh my God, it's a catastrophe.
That is great for them.
But it's all done as everybody is wiped off the face of Summoner's Rift for RA, and that's a full ace in favor of Ultra Prime. They go right to the big purple worm.
And a very cheeky smile at the end from Qingtian as well. He's like, haha, this guy's dived straight into a Darius Lilia combo. We take those boys.
Yeah.
Again, a great try from
the Q from
last try, if you will, to try
both Lilia and Darius together
the
is
game
kind
back.
of fun.
However, this team was designed to peel any engages, and this is like very equivalent to the Shanji TP that we've seen over in the regular season from NIP. It was too late, way too little, way too late. Again, you want to pile up on a Darius? Way too little,
what?
Way too late. Again, you want
oh my God.
to pile up on a
hello?
NIP. It was too late, way too little, way too late. Again, you want to pile up on a Darius? Will take those. He healed 60% of his HP.
He tried to, I will give Xiaoshu credit, he tried to all out him before the guillotine came down. He's like trying to be the last stand, man. He's like,
disgusting.
And then just sees his entire team.
Holy fuck.
We're going to see that success continue to be barreled into RA.
Yeah, I don't think anyone from RA gets the green card to walk up to anyone at this point. Hacker is just 1v1 in Vikla. Meanwhile, over in the mid lane, whilst Ultra Prime are taking that inhibitor tower, they could choose to even end here, pick up a team fight, bullet them under tower, and just end up here.
They still have the Baron minions for a long time, and we might actually be looking at one of the shortest games and the shortest game of this summer Rumble stage so far. If they can end here, Vikla going in one last time. The turret getting low, and it's going down now. They got the Nexus open. They're feeling a little hesitant to finish off. Now they go with the Arctic Assault in, but Xiaohao misses that combo. Hits the Glacial Prison, though, but ends up paying his life for it anyways. And here's the last gasp effort from RA, and it will not work. They get one more kill. They'll double their kills in this game, but it meant nothing as Ultra Prime
220
took them
is
to
fucking
task.
wild, guys. Wild.
What a fantastic showing by Ultra Prime. We needed this. They needed this more. Losing to IG back-to-back, getting denied the Ascent group, into getting that revenge match, and going 0-2 down, and everyone doubting them, and being on a 6-game lose streak.
Ultra Prime definitely
needed this
that one.
clean, dominant... Mazel, they had 4 carries, 3 of them never died the entire game.
Yeah, the fact that that RA doubled their kills at the last second by getting a kill doesn't feel great. Now, I will give the benefit of the doubt. They did get the fastest game in our Rumble stage, but they didn't get the fastest game of all split.
Hey, they have a chance for the next one.
That still goes to RA versus Top Esports. It's true, but this is also a situation where I do not expect RA to go quietly into the night. I expect a big fight. I expect 3-game series out of this one. We are going to step away for a short break, and we'll be back for game number 2.
Eyes on the Prime. Back to China Vibes. Heard we are going to skip the China Vibes part of the story today. Let's go listen to what they got.
It should look like this,
LCK
and I think for DK
Studio.
Yeah, it kind of felt like this was a display of discipline with good playmaking and explosive plays, which we've seen before. So really cool to see that from another top team.
Zoned off and chunked. They commit to this play, and we get a super deep ult from Lucid, but because he's so fed and the follow-up isn't really there, his Sundus guy actually gives him enough health to survive for the team to get there in return.
So fucking ridiculous.
And then the chase down starts to come out, and D-Rex just completely collapsed like a house of cards.
Yeah, fucking
DK, I think,
Rascal
is
was
one of the most
being
crazy
body
teams
blocked
we
by
have. The
Teddy.
only
They
team
should have
that
just
is playing
separated,
at a high
bro.
level and has this level of intensity is obviously T1. Right, who also are very happy to go for these type of fights. The Renata pick to me feels like such a key pick, because even there in that fight, if they did try to turn on Lucid, he's still at the bailout, and then you try to, you know, take down this Vi who probably won't end up going down. And I think DK, especially with Kellen stepping up as well, are looking really good.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like maybe the Renata needed to be banned in the second rotation. I guess they thought because the Callisto was gone, it wasn't going to get picked, because that's the duo we've seen the most. But I think teams going forwards need to really watch out for that.
Yeah, really cool to see, I guess, a champion pop from out of the meta, what seems out of nowhere based off of some execution. Let's see who the POG is. And it is Lucid in the jungle, keeping the jungle justice theme en route as it's his 6th POG of the season.
I mean, I think this was a no-brainer. Like, I think you'd have to have no brain if you thought otherwise. I'm just joking. That's just directed at Egon. But he had a fantastic game. I think he had such a massive impact in the early game, throughout into the mid-game on this one. And even in the team fights, you know, we obviously know Vi is a really impactful pick in the meta, and her ult is huge value. But I feel like Lucid really used the entirety of the kit when it came to those team fights, getting max value. And also has said himself he believes he's the best Vi in the LCK. He certainly looks like it in this game.
Really does. The only player that is having a similar impact is Peanut, and he plays it very differently. I think when Peanut plays it, it's much more about enabling the rest of his team. With Lucid, it feels like he is playing really just Lee with a point-and-click ultimate in the way that he goes very aggressive, very deep. As yep, that could have been at 700. Let's not forget that the votes were tied on the first game as well. As I think this makes sense. I think the Callan votes are fine.
I feel like this was done on purpose, that it is
How
exactly
do you feel about
right
that?
media that
Big
voted
on.
for Kellen.
Wait, where's Where's Deegon? Where's your vote, Deegon? Do you not get one? Oh, that's really sad. You know, I'm sure you would have used it well.
Hey, there were a lot of friends at home supporting me and agreeing with me as well. However, I do want to just hit on one more time with our #1 Lucid fan here on the LCK desk. Just how awesome it's been to see his growth and how key it's been to their success.
Don't you dare! Don't you dare!
He said the #1 Lucid fan.
You know I'm the #1 Lucid fan, Dan. Don't take that away from me. I think it's amazing. I've been excited about this player for like 2 years. And seeing him reach consistently the level that he did back in Challengers is really big. There were moments in Spring, but there was also a lot of moments where he kind of sort of lost the game. He hasn't been doing a whole lot of that.
Yeah. Well, while we have a little bit of time, let's look on the other side with DRX. Takeaways here just immediately. Rascal got through laning phase. Like, that was nice.
I think game 1 was fine.
Game 1 was, they actually showed a lot in game 1. I think there's obviously still some struggles when it comes to team play, mid to late games, setting up objectives and playing the map, which are harder things for a team to get a grasp on. So still hoping to see growth there. The second game though, I feel like the bot lane was kind of left out to dry. We obviously saw Lucid make a big impact there. And they got no value from the top lane, you know. They clearly, at the end of the draft, went, let's go this Jax, Sejuani. Nothing came from it. Rascal did 3k damage. And your bot lane ended up getting suffocated by Lucid, so they lost on both sides.
Yeah, it's just rough to see. I'm really getting to the point where I feel like it should just be Frog. I don't think Frog is a necessarily much better player by any means, but at least with him, I think there is a chance that he develops. We saw players like Perfect, who is a bit of a standout, but really have a great developmental curve, and I think it's better to roll the dice with that than to keep trying to play Rascal. I just think, unfortunately, he hasn't been able to relive his former glory days.
All right, well, we'll see how DRX bounce back in their next match. But to hear from D+, we have Deer standing by with the translations from the winner's interview.
Thank you very much, guys. This is Deer for the POG interview translation, joined by Kellen and Lucid on the side of D+ Kia, who just secured their 4th consecutive victory after defeating DRX. Congratulations! Thank you! Kellen, this is your first POG. How do you feel? I always thought about when I will actually get POG. Feels great to get a POG, and I would like to continue getting POGs in the future. Were you satisfied with your performance? Yeah, I'm pretty content, but I got picked off a couple times, so I do have a little bit of regrets here and there. Lucid, you won your 4th series in a row and reached 600 POG points. How do you feel? It's nice to have such a good momentum as a team, and yeah, I'm a sole position of the first place of the POG standings, which makes me pretty happy. And it looks like, despite the week of break, D+ Kia's performance is still top-notch. So what did you do during the break? I hung out with some friends, and then I definitely had a lot of talk with the coaching staff regarding the match versus DRX and Genji. And what about Lucid? I tried to recover and rest as much as I could, and in a good condition, I was able to pull off a good performance today. And in game 1,
oh Lord,
gameplay.
The Korean streams interviews and stuff take 25 years, man. Sorry guys, trying to give instructions to the guy that's making me a logo, and it's somewhere in there we're not understanding each other very well.
He's just
so
willing to do this now. Just slide pick Renekton, first pick blue side. Why not? I like it. It's worked out sometimes too. And also at least keeping the trend of blue side top laners in this series blind picking. Okay, maybe there was an issue. Maybe the Lucian didn't actually mean to get locked in there, but we'll see.
I was about to say, they regretted the Renekton before. Like, can't we read too?
Nah, I think that one was locked in boldly. I think that one's good. I think it was the Lucian.
All right.
Oh goodness.
Let's
I love
bring
our
it
top
back.
laners, by the way.
Yeah, well, let's bring it back to what RA did not have in the previous game. I feel like they just did not have enough active lanes to play through in the early game. Their only plan, I feel like, that they had in game number 1 was to shut down the Darius, and that plan was shut down by Hacker's level 1 late invade, and they just never were able to get back towards the tops of the map and make plays. Xiaohao kept continuously looking around the map, but you can't gank a Corki, you cannot gank Ash Brom, they're just too strong at peeling backwards, and your only play towards the tops of the map had already snowballed by that point. So I feel like RA just needed, I know it just sounds simple, but they just needed more damage in their composition, more power to play through for these objectives. When you 2,000-3,000 gold down, to be able to come back from that would be huge. And I feel like a lot of the very, very good teams right now play with 4 carries on the Rift, and they just will shove like an Alistar or a Rel or a Nautilus or a Leona onto their support. So the support will do the entire heavy lifting, the engage, the disengage, the tankiness. They'll do everything, and everyone else will just be down to do the damage. And just Rare Item just did not have that.
And the thing about their comp, they didn't have a couple things that maybe were lacking in some regard, but it wasn't a bad composition. You can see kind of the base structure of it, but again, I think it just comes down to the execution early that just becomes a lot harder to deal with. Obviously, the like level 2 gank in mid lane to get Vikla so far down that then Ultra Prime literally had priority in all 3 lanes in early game. Like, that kind of stuff just can't happen, and I really want to see if RA can gain some of that priority for themselves and have a little bit more strength coming out of the mid lane with Vikla.
I'm not gonna lie to you, I felt bad for Xiaohao because he was stuck on a Sejuani, right? So you get out cleared for sure because Lily is so much faster. Now your top lane camps are missing, so they'll know where you are because it's also warded. And like, I saw Xiaohao being all over the map. He went top lane, he went mid lane, he went bot lane. He was trying so hard and just nothing was working. And what do? You are stuck on a Sejuani. You cannot carry this yourself. So it was kind of like a cat despair moment where you're trying so hard, but it's like, try harder, it's not good enough. You get slapped in the face by reality, you know?
So somebody definitely got slapped last game. That was for sure. That's absolutely for sure. But I also take a little bit of introspection towards Xiaohao as well, because we talked a little bit about the track record for Hacker. Obviously, having some difficulties, closing out games, but always finding consistent early games. Having been with E-Star, then Ultra Prime for a long time, then coming back over this last split and this last year. But it is Xiaohao on the other side, who has had a very interesting track record, obviously making his name in the LPL so far, at least, on anyone's legend, but then spending the last 5 months or so before coming back to RA rather, on Weibo Gaming with that squad and not finding success there. But really interested what this next chapter has in store for Xiaohao, who was on Weibo one of the most dominant junglers, it felt like.
I feel like that is the case. This is why we say RA have a lot of multiple threats, and I feel Xiaohao is one of those threats in the jungle. You just need to give him the right tools, if not to carry himself, to be able to facilitate for others. And I feel like he was just left too alone in his own devices with the Sejuani in game number 1. I want to see something a little bit more active in this particular game. I feel like the meta was a little bit more active in your face and brawly over in spring, when you had all the Xin Zhaos and the Lee Sins diving in your face. However, we're back into the draft. Mazel, the Renekton, is most likely gonna appear once again, especially without the Jax haunting that top side. I feel like the Renekton is a pretty safe pick towards the top side.
actually going to be very
Yeah, sorry guys,
one.
give me
If it
just
is
one
gonna be
more
locked in
second.
yet
I'm
again,
trying to find something.
There he is.
And we're
that
good to
will
go.
be the case. So I like it. We're back to it. We get to talk about the blind.
All right,
side
Ash
for now.
Darius and Corky banned.
Right here, you know,
That's funny
you
that
have
they banned
Tristana and
Darius
Corki
already.
banned away, and the mid laners are like, what other AD carry can we put in the mid lane? Quick, put in your votes. And,
Is LPL not fearless
Wanda
anymore, I'm
is
guessing? Because
tail
they just banned
as all this
Darius
time
into the
is
team that had
Lucian.
just picked
He's been play-
Darius.
mid lane for so many seasons, and this is your ultimate choice
There we
right
go.
here. And Yukai is gonna choose to go with that brand. Brand,
Still
sorry,
some
Lucian.
flexibility. Lucian. Still some flexibility in that regard, but yeah, we have seen it go towards mid lane. I really like it into the Corky, but obviously that one's banned away by RA this time around. The brand, though, for Hacker, so keeping to maybe a little bit of that AP style, but also going the hard farming route.
I'm wondering if we're gonna see something like potentially a Jace and then maybe a Nidalee in the jungle to sort of facilitate for the top side of the map. It's not going to be the case. Forget everything I just said. Xiaohao is going back to facilitating with that Sejuani. However, the caveat here is that you do have active lane to play through. Renekton plus Sejuani. You can very easily shut down that top side of the map if you play for it.
And Vicla's like, first of all, we don't want to give it to Yukai, because if it's open, I'm sure Yukai locks in that Yone. But you also get the second attempt here for Vicla to make good on that first game, and also the combination with the Sejuani. Really like these lanes for RA so far. It is the Cassante that's ended up locking into the Renekton.
So about shutting down the top side of the map, yeah. Cassante is one of the safest champions when it comes to red side as well, so Xintian is trying to make it as difficult as possible. He had his carry moment over in game number
RA
one.
wins.
However, now he's going to take a backseat. He's going to allow
RA
other
just
members
wins.
of the set of Ultra Prime. And now we're looking towards that bot lane for RA and support
Trying to get a
territory
picture
for
together.
both of these teams. Ziggs, very good ban right here because Asum has played Ziggs before. He is an enthusiast and they do need that AP spark, if you will, on the side of RA in terms of damage.
We definitely do. They need a little follow-up and a little bit of... honestly, I really like the Kaisa. A little bit of follow-up for the Yone ultimate there as well. Try to get that backline access. The Xayah is the focus here, so taking away some of the safer options that Ultra Prime might want to go for to get away from these divers. Because right now, RA, they're getting their wetsuits on, and they're getting a little bit of oxygen mask ready to go. They're going deep.
Ooh, very good call out right there, Mazel, onto the Kaisa. They're going to take that one away. One of the AD carries that loves to dive deep together with anyone who's engaging on your team. So RA will not have that. Another very safe AD carry, Ezreal, taking out the board right there. Another one that remains is Sivir. We have been seeing her rise to the occasion quite a lot, especially since the Nautilus, the Leonas are very prominent over in the bot lane. She can shield a lot of that engage ability. Could this be the one that Dogo chooses to go for to stay a little bit more safe in that backline?
I think okay. I think that's a good takeaway from RA, because I think RA were absolutely
think that
looking
this game
at
is-
Leona to help set up some big combos there. But they're going to go ahead and steal that one away. There still is the choice of what you want to grab for the counter pick ADC here, unless the Lucian will end up going into that spot for Doggo. It is a classic for him. Obviously very comfortable on that one. But want to see if they want to counter this misfortune a little bit, as the Wombo combo will be initiated by RA with the bullet times of Assume.
Ooh, love that Misfortune, potentially together with a Rel, Wombo combo down. Usually you see Leona together with Misfortune because they do so much damage together. Nautilus,
You know who goes good with divers?
Yeah, another great pick right here with the Nautilus, and RA have got a Wombo combo on their hands. Oh, that Kalista is extremely short range.
Everybody should bring an anchor with them when they go diving.
That was a good
The
one.
man is literally from the ocean. I mean, I guess if you're going there, might as well take somebody, a denizen of there. It is the Zeri locked in the end for Doggo, so he's going to have a lot of team fight damage on his shoulders. And the team fight looks pretty strong from Ultra Prime, but they got to be able to survive these combos from RA.
And RA, not only do they have combos, but they have a lot of pressure in the early game as well. You've got Misfortune over in the early lane. She got buffed recently on patch 14.13, so she does hurt a lot more right now. Her base AD was buffed as well. So She was the stat check 80 carry back in the day, like 2 seasons ago, if I'm not wrong. She was a stat check 80 carry. She had a lot of high AD ratios in her kit, and she still can and will be a bully in lane. However, you also have Renekton up in the top lane for the side of for the side of RA. Ultra Prime. RA. I'm lost.
All right. You got it. You had it.
I am so lost.
But I think
The side
also
of RA
kind of
locked. Done.
Yeah. The thing about it is, though, we did see an extremely dominant first game from Ultra Prime.
Yeah.
I mean, they absolutely came out swinging on the blue side. I expect RA to have a bit of a fight of their own, but you have to recenter yourself a little bit after a game like that. The composition they have will absolutely be a centered one, as they have a lot of ease of execution going for them and a lot of combos to dive the backline of Ultra Prime. Ultra Prime, on the other hand, maybe trying to take a little bit of that momentum for themselves. They need to thrive off of Hacker and Yukai, this mid-jungle duo that makes this team tick. We have a strong early presence. We'll see what Game 2 has in store for us as we kick off now. Let's go. We got some Gyos.
A little bit going, yeah. Again, I do really enjoy the people who start the chance and they try the hardest. Sometimes they don't try their hardest, you know, they just want to try the chance so the team doesn't feel left out, which is fair enough.
It works, it works. State of play, it feels like, is both these teams obviously in Group Nirvana, the second group here in our Rumble stage of LPL. Need every win they possibly can get to make sure that they stay in the top 4 of this bottom group. And Ultra Prime already took a pretty hard loss against IG, 0-2. So they want to go a little bit more positive in this one. RA started off really strongly, beating TT 2-0. Now,
let's see what bets we got.
This series itself, we get a little early engagement in the 2v2 in bot side.
And I was looking all this time at Yukai. He had already pushed far onto that mid lane, wants to get that priority for his jungler. So much of pivotal importance for Ultra Prime that their mid-jungle duo is doing so well. And they set up for success. They have so much damage between the two. A lot of priority to come through from the Lucian, and I feel like the way that the whole Lucian Corki versus Yone matchup works is very, very similar. You've got a lot of AoE, with Lucian to work with, but you also got your auto attacks to push down the wave and punish Yone, who's a melee champion. However,
they don't have enough AP.
Extremely aggressive, and it comes back to the fact that
Lucian
Misfortune is such a lane bully. The second you get a Q through with the Nautilus, she can definitely follow up to punish.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's
how is Lucian? Is Lucian mid meta again? Did I miss something?
Add on, especially if you're able to get those first autos onto the target itself. And now they will have complete control of that bot side. There is no stepping up really until you get a couple levels under your belt for Ultra Prime. I want to check in on junglers. There was some vision gained by RA over Hacker on his path. They are both barreling down towards this bot side though.
And if you look on the map as a whole, this is a complete different image that we had from game number 1. Both of the junglers are going to be full clearing towards that bot side. However, Xiaohao is looking mid.
Oh, Yukai dashes forward, and that might have just sealed his fate. Level 3 gank with the flash Arctic Assault, and now Yukai gets locked down. First blood for Xiaohao, and a bit of revenge from game number 1.
They say if you fail, try again.
Yeah, if
fantastic gank right here.
If you're going for Ultra Prime, honestly, it's plus 110, and if you bet that Rare Adam's gonna win the series right now, I would highly recommend that because they're not losing this game and they are the better team overall, and now they're just gonna be perma-banning Darius. So yeah. I'm going to say something that's terrible, so I apologize, but looking at Hacker with his Ultra Prime jacket versus Xingtian with his Purple Jacket, it's two very different stories are happening. How old are these guys? Okay, Hacker's 25. He's 22. Lordy. They be babies. They be babies. Alright, LCK up yet? 10 more minutes heard.
Well, and this is great play from the side of Rare Atom because they know which lanes are in danger and which are not. And especially when you spot the brand, then your lanes, especially bot and top, that have had priority the entire time, are just free to permanently push. So you do have the support of your team to get into this jungle and fight for you at whatever moment possible. Very good stuff right here from RA. However, Ultra Prime will grab and will continue on the 100% objective control here within the series.
Yeah. You know, assume in Dway's pockets were getting a little too full with gold. They had to go back. BF sword first completed there for RA and assume at least. And at least Ultra Prime take a bit of an advantage of the back there, but they will end up getting a bit of a pity prize in terms of that first dragon. They have to follow that one up and continue stacking that. As grubs are already started up by Xiaohao on the other side, we see support starting to get out on the map.
And if you look in general at the items, I love how you spotted the BF sword, because if you look at the items, it's all combat items that have been purchased. Apart from the Yone that's gone more towards that attack speed, if you will, as Hacker is wrapping around the Yone that we were just talking about. Every single other member, you'll see a pickaxe onto the Renekton, you'll see a BF sword onto the Misfortune. This is raw damage items ready to brawl.
Hacker. This is really rough for Hacker. He does get the ignite immediately on him. Xiaohao's going to take the big chicken there in the end. As Xiaoshu was already moving down. It was only 2 grubs secured by RA. They were feeling like they needed to make a collapse on mid lane.
You know what? Xiaohao's not having it. This is his jungle now. You don't get to steal anything from him. You see his willingness right there to just dive in, take the last big chicken for himself. He's had enough from that level 1 bullying that happened in game number 1. However, again, right here, I'm loving the fact that RA are ready to fight. And talking about fighting, Dway has taken every single cue he could find. Xiaohao will find himself towards the bottom of the map, and they do have a wave to work with. No level 6 on Leona or Zeri, and they have level 6 on Misfortune. This could be huge.
Yeah, that's really big.
There we go.
All out though at top lane. You had to know it was coming. And Hacker will be the one that picks that one. That's huge. And he is going to steal away the blue over here. Bot lane, the gank has not been pulled off yet. And I don't know if they're going to be able to.
Ooh, I was about to say, as a consequence of top lane dying, you have to back to try and defend your jungle. But Xiaohao stayed around, tried to reset, but still stayed on the map. And now he's mid lane, trying to make his way towards his top side of the map. But his top side of the map is most likely gone because you know Brand is around. So a little bit of a probably miscommunication onto the map. Xiaohao is still gonna look for those void grabs, trying to defend them. Hacker has to back since he got that kill. And that's the one is stayed on the map a little bit for too long, I would say.
Just a little bit.
I mean, he literally started in bot side and ended up top lane.
Yeah. There's a pretty hefty CS differential gained in mid lane right now by Vikla. I want to see if they can press that one up. Obviously, Yukai going to get a little bit of support here to kind of clean that one up. But it is a situation where if Vikla is even a little bit ahead at 25 minutes, I'm sorry, but Yone is going to be canceling people on Ultra Prime. Now we're going to get the 1v1 on top side. But I worry that Ultra Prime not being ahead is going to be very difficult for them to execute these fights later on.
There we go.
They need a lot of time and space created, especially when we're looking at the Zeri, when we're looking at those late game fights. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm looking at Lucian, and I'm looking at Zeri, and I'm looking at Bran, and I'm like, these carries are not necessarily very long-range carries, and they like to be in your face hitting, especially when you've got tanks like a Santa and Leona to create space for you. That's perfect. But RA have such great backline access with the Renekton, with the Yone, with the ultimate from Nautilus, that even if you keep your distance, they'll close that distance up. So it's up to RA to actually misstep with their engage and give Ultra Prime the space that they need to play those fights around.
Well, we will have first item coming up. Already the convergence had been completed for a little while by Xiaohao. Obviously a bit of a cheaper item, but the Liandry is completed at about 940. Yet again, this time by Hacker. And on the brand that enables your powers so strongly. And we have a dragon coming up in about 45 seconds.
Ooh, nice trade from Vikla.
Oh my god! Take that lollipop and suck on it, doggo. My goodness!
Jesus.
He's gonna go back in. I love that! Oh my god, he gets the kill in the end. What an absolute debate. Now you're getting the fade sealed in though, and Niket's gonna die as well. Pyroclasm is doing work right now, and Doggo's here to clean things up. Double marksman, and here comes Doggo! He goes straight into his own death though, and a double kill goes over in the end to assume. Meanwhile, Vikla makes it out alive in the end.
Wow, fantastic play by
Jesus
Vikla right
Christ.
there. Last minute to take that kill onto Doggo. But right before this fight, we literally said it's up to RA to whiff their engage, which will create space for Ultra Prime to play their fights out with the Zeri. And that's exactly what happened. We're going to hold on to that though, because Dragon has been started. There are not many ultimates around in RA's disposal.
Hacker does so much damage though, it's actually ridiculous. Not only to the objective, but in that fight as well. Xiaohao not even gonna go for it here. Second dragon secured by Ultra Prime.
And it is going to be Ultra Prime with the two dragons right here off of the back of that fight that we just watched. Vikla very lucky to come out alive with his life. The wave is going to get pushed down. Asum and Dway are going to dispatch of it. And let's look at this fight again, because I feel like this was a whiffed engage. Suede sees Doggo. Great. You know what this guy can do? He can jump through walls. Misfortune was not fast enough, which means you have now taken one member down from the set of RA. You're fighting 3 versus 4. And look at all the space that's been created. Insanely great block right there from Xiaohao.
Alright, there we go, guys.
Ultimate as well to not reach the backline.
We got
and
the
Doggo
bot
short
sorted
overreaches. He
just
sees
a
the
little
low
bit
HP
better.
bars, overreaches, a little bit of life still onto that Yone. Great uses of the shield as well. Vikla gets out, but again, you see how one mistake in terms of an engage can give Ultra Prime what they need to play their fights out.
And they love that this game is at an even pace, because if RA are ahead, I mean, they absolutely have the decision-making power in this one. We speak about that decision-making power. RA were trying to decide to move topside. They were literally moving 4 bodies up here to try to make that play. There is the Grubs Season 2 spawning soon.
Oh, the TP. The TP. Vikla's coming in on the Yone. You do have TP onto Yokai if they want to take the 5 versus 5 for the Void Grabs. Ultra Prime, I don't know if you want to give away Void Grab buff when there is a Yone and a Renekton, which can very easily split push later on and take your towers down super quickly. However, you need to dispatch of that mid lane wave and try to get some vision in.
Vikla will end up going into the fight there. Niket wrapping around. They do have Jingtian, and they're TPing in Yuukai now as well. Dway gonna flash away there in the end. Now a little bit of damage being done here as they don't get the Ultra Shock Laser. The bullet time only onto 1. Arctic is not gonna hit, and neither will the Glacial Prison. Xiaoshu locked down with Fate Seal from Vikla. Is Big Vikla back in town, baby? As now they got the double. Yuukai not gonna go down in the end. Ultra Prime forced off of the play, and that will be full grubs for RA.
Damn, Vikla is so good on this champion. Insane engage right there to push Ultra Prime off of the objectives. It's a 1-for-1.
I don't feel like that was that crazy. He just pressed R going over a wall
However,
into
the
like 4
Grubs
of them.
will go over to the side of RA. And look at this. RA have already started this, and they threw everything in the kitchen sink onto Zwei. As you can see, even Qingtian is going onto this Nautilus. Presses the Q3 on him, and Zwei just walks the heck
like
out. And Vikla, he was blocked last time.
I might have missed it a little bit. Like I might have hit only 2 of them, but I would have done the exact same thing.
And he went from a side angle.
Oh my goodness.
Just
that
about.
Was so ridiculously close.
Just about.
Oh, man. And this game has been much more of the flavor that I expected between these two. It is tussles, it is fights, it is non-stop, complete action. And speaking of that, we get Rift Herald. A little bit of action up here as RA will take that one.
Ultra Prime are going to trade the Rift Herald for a bot lane tower. Again, usually we'll see the Rift Herald being used either as an engage tool. I think Zway was the last person who tried to use it as an engage tool in the previous series that we saw from RA. Didn't work very well, but also taking that mid lane tower or getting a chunk off of that mid lane tower could be huge. You have a lot of wave clear in the likes of Lucian and Brand together that it's going to be really hard to siege a tower.
There we go.
If you're RA, especially since you're only one ranged champion in your entire composition.
That's what makes it so difficult. And that's what maybe helps that low range that you were highlighting for Ultra Prime earlier. But we're getting back on the map. We're getting the Niket Hacker duo team up going out now as well. Very, very potent. But I think the big focus will be Dragon coming up in about 40 seconds. You definitely want to deny a soul point against Ultra Prime because they will then be able to move around the map with that decision-making prowess.
However, all this time, under everyone's noses, Hacker is 2-0-3.
All right, gonna try this one more time.
I'm loving that he's getting highlighted by the broadcast as well on the back of that, because he's been doing fantastically well on the AP carries for the entire series. And he does have his flash available for the next fight, which is going to be of pivotal importance. He needs to stay alive because he is the majority of the damage output that Ultra Prime have onto them, and not to mention, of course, the smite holder. However, Dragon spawned, but everyone has gathered around the top side.
Let's make a play up here because we can, is what they say. Yeah, I think Ultra Prime will go ahead and take the resets here. I think Hacker has so much underlying damage because not only do you think about the kind of AoE or kind of team fight setup that Ultra Prime have, if everyone from RA is diving, they're all going to a singular area. They're all melee, right? And you can easily wreck with a Power Cloud. And we saw it happen in that fight in front of the Dragon Pit as well. We'll see if RA can make good on a couple of their advances here, though. They look in mid lane.
They're looking at Doggo. He does have his flash available and his Baron. Niket is around to defend him if that happens. However, right here, both teams are looking for a little bit of mid lane priority to try and take control onto this river. And this is sort of the price that you pay, right? There were 3 members of each team towards the top side of the map. None of them have established a lot of vision in the river. If anything, RA have a little bit more due to having a lot of pressure mid lane and bot lane. So they do know what's happening, and Ultra Prime are trying to scramble themselves around those areas to try and find ways to get into the river. They will manage it right now, and let's see if RA will pull the trigger. There is TP onto Vikla and Chintian, who are right now sitting on the top side of the map.
All right, there we go. They're going to use the Rift Herald in mid. It's a bit of a distraction. Carnifex there. The Dragon's already going down. 50-50 here, maybe. Our Hacker, he actually gets it. Oh my goodness, he's immediately going to be blown up though. Now Doggo doing some work here. Niket going to flash out, but is he going to survive? He is for a while. Fate Seal going to be pushed away, but still gets 2 in the end. All out coming through from Chintian. Doggo taking down Xiaoshu here as well. And now Yuikai able to clean house, I'd assume. These fights have been neck and neck.
No way.
But Ultra Prime come out the victor in that one.
Ultra Prime take their soul point, and they take 3
I guess their win con is Brandon and Zeri have to hyper carry every
fight. They'll get to push that mid lane tower as well, with Doggo and Chintian staying alive. You do have the extra rune as well to do the extra damage onto the tower. This is great stuff from Ultra Prime. Being able to free up that mid lane tier 1 as well is an extra victory. And remember what we said earlier on, the more carries you're running on your team, the more threats you have.
But I guess
Yuikai is going to take that top lane tier 1 as well.
They're just going to get screwed by the Brand.
Ultra Prime have lived and died by their mid jungle, but right now they're living by their whole team. We see a group effort in this replay.
I'm very surprised that they actually took the 50-50. I felt like for Ultra Prime, they really needed this struggle to try and pressure RA more on the map. However, Hacker gets the smite but dies instantly. But look at Yuikai, look how safe he's playing through the wall. He's got the vision with the control ward into this brush, and he's actually zoning 3 members of RA whilst Doggo is dispatched patching of whoever is jumping over the wall.
All right.
Great stuff.
So
from
what
both
I'm
of them.
going
I
to go
feel
try
like
to
their
do
team
is sleep
fighting
in
has
just a
been
little
looking
bit more because I'm still tired so that I can try to fall asleep earlier tonight. So I personally would put my money on, I mean, I wouldn't bet on this game anymore. Like, the only thing I'd bet on is over 26 kills maybe. Like, there's a chance. I don't know. DRX versus Kwangdong. We got Genji versus Kwangdong. I think that Kwangdong could take a game off Genji, so just pay attention to drafts. You do have a pretty decent chance of winning a little bit of cash in this game for sure. First to 5 kills. Say, like, one team randomly picks a fucking Talon. You can bet that they're going to get first to 5 kills. So, just kind of see how it goes. Damwon's doing really well this split. Yeah, Kwangdong definitely could take a game or two off him. So could HLE. I don't know if they'll take a series, but they should be able to take a game. Alrighty, guys. Well, we will be back on a little bit later. I'm going to try to go to sleep for another hour or two, and then see you guys back on here in a bit. If there's any games still going, we'll do some more watch partying, and then we will hop into some more Shadow of War.